What's up? It's been a long time. Let's see who all joins in. But it's been a long time since I've been online or since I've done a live on a Thursday night. Share this to some people, but hey, lots of stuff has been changing out there, and I've been busy with a lot of changes going on, and you know you have like you're set in your ways for a long time on the way that you trained, and then all of a sudden they're all like it wasn't all of a sudden. We knew about it coming for a while, but whenever it happened, it was like, hey, this is the new way things are going to go. So, guess what? We had to learn how to roll with the changes, and it's been pretty interesting, I will say. Nick, what's up, Nick? Nick says, hey, what's up? Hope everything's going good. Oh man, it's going, Nick. I will tell you that it's going. Dakota says, I thought you quit streaming. No, I just been busy, man. I have a lot of stuff going on in my life, and I just put everything on hold for a while. And it's just been so long since I got to come on here and tell everyone hello. And, it's almost Christmas. So Merry Christmas, and I'll probably be back to my normal schedules after the new year, is what I'm thinking. But I have a lot of change coming in my life, and a lot of things are going to be different. So, we're just getting ready for that. I'm getting ready for that. Couch Hippo says good evening or evening. Couch, awesome little emblem you have. I hear you. I switched from tanker to reefer, so it's been a huge adjustment. Oh man, I like reefer. I really do. Tanker is good too. I'm not gonna knock on tanker at all, but I like being reefer. I think that it's more opportunities. I don't have to worry about the wash bays and all that stuff. I mean, there's a lot of good reasons to be reefer. There's a lot of great reasons to be tanker. But at the end of the day, I start thinking about the surge in that tank and stuff like that, and it's kind of nerve wracking. That surge, it might push you out into traffic, or I've seen tankers flip over because of it, because they park on the side of the road and they get a tire off the side and it sinks in the dirt and just flips over. you know Lots of bad stuff can happen on tanker, and lots of bad stuff can happen on reefer too. But I'm like, you know what, I'm comfortable with the reefer trailer. Like, I don't go flatbed because I'm all like, one, it's a lot of work. But number two is I'm a real paranoid person about something falling off my truck. So even though it's strapped down, chained down, whatever, I'm still would be really, really paranoid that something would fall off and hurt somebody. My stuff's inside the reefer unit, and I know it's stacked up in there and stuff falls over inside there, but at least it's contained. But Stephen Kelly says, how are you? I'm coming back to Prime on the 3rd. Let's go, man. Welcome back. That's really good. I've been getting a lot of emails and text messages about people not being able to come back to Prime, and people that went and got their CDLs elsewhere and decided, "Hey, I'm going to go to Prime now and get the training I need, the experience I need." I heard that what I'm hearing is a lot of people have been turned down, unfortunately. So Nick says, "I drive for Decker now, but how's Prime doing?" I think everything's going good here. I haven't really heard anyone too much complaining about freight and stuff like that. I think that everything's been going smoothly. So, been going good. I know the students have been coming in consistently. And, when you start seeing the student numbers pick up and more students are being brought in and stuff like that, that means freight's doing better most of the time. Also, like, I look at the terminal, if there's a lot of trucks in the terminal and it's packed in there, hey, that means there's bringing in more and more trucks and people are moving around. So, I think that that's a good sign. Also, the trailer yards, they start getting packed, and, you know we're doing good whenever we have a lot of trailers out there. So there's a lot of stuff like that I kind of watch. Lewis says, "Does Prime help me achieve my CDL once I have my permit?" Yes, Lewis, you'll get your permit, you'll apply and everything, you'll get with a recruiter, and then you'll be able to come here. Once you get hired on, they'll have you Greyhound here, rental car, plane, whatever the case may be, to the closest terminal to you, and then hey, it's go from there. And it's a fast-paced program. Be ready for it. The hardest part is getting on that Greyhound to come here because that Greyhound, you're leaving everything you know at home. I was sick, and I was texting one of the guys that's coming in that came in this week that's going to be on my truck, and he was all like, "Man, it's kind of hard to come out there, man. I was so sick, you know." And I was like, "Yeah, it is hard. It's hard leaving everything." Yeah, you come here and we'll teach you how to drive that truck. We'll teach you how to back it. We'll teach you the pre-trip, and then you'll test out. You'll take that wonderful new test that we have going on, and you're going to be on your road to making your own money, not living paycheck to paycheck anymore, like out there like making it where you don't have to be like, "Hey, I wonder if I can afford to buy this or not." I mean, if you're looking at it or you're doing research to buy something, you pretty much have the money in the bank. So it's a nice feeling. I'll tell you that. Absolutely no money over there in the tanker at least prime. I tried and struggled the last month. Oh no, I would have been talking to somebody or switching divisions like you are. So Donnie, what's going on? Donnie, I seen your truck in the yard not too long ago. You didn't even come see me, bro. Like, what's up? And we were supposed to meet up. Calling you out. Donnie's a great guy. He's a real busy guy. He's into a lot of stuff, and he's a great guy. Donnie, if you want, you can put your Facebook on there for your truck. Try driving slower. I never really did over 62. Depends if I'm late or not, which didn't matter. Most places I went was really the only person can send us loads. Nobody else inedible. AKA pet food. I learned that the other day in the safety meeting. It's the TNT phase at Prime Inc., and I love it so far. TNT phase is the hardest part, I will tell you that. TNT is so hard. Like, I give it to the TNT trainers out there. You have to really trust somebody brand new behind that wheel. You have to wake up, you lose sleep. There's a lot of stuff involved with it, and it is hard. But hey, I'm glad you're doing great out there, man. Like, get it done so you get to your own truck. It's hard, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. Once you finish your miles and get into your own truck, trust me, you're gonna be like, man, this was so worth it. I'm glad I stuck it out and got it done because it's man, there ain't another feeling like when you get your own truck and you're not with that TNT trainer no more, and you got your own truck. You can sleep when you want, you can drive when you want. You are the guy in charge now. You just got to make sure your loads get there on time. Like, it is freaking awesome. I'll tell you what, students, and I wasn't going to talk about this, but students, be early. Like, I'm sick and tired of people being late. I will tell you that. I don't know how you come here and you think that you can be late all the time. Not a good sign. Was pay determined for the new drivers, hourly mileage, etc. Once I choose, I would be able to switch. For the new drivers, your pay is hourly, and it's a weird system. I did a video on it. You're gonna have to look it up on my channel, but I did a video on it, and it's a hourly plus every day you get 4 hours on top of that. So it's kind of weird, but it pretty much equals out to like a guarantee of like 800, and then pretty much over that 800 you can make more. And I don't know how much more. I haven't done the math or talked to people that have done the math, but I know it's more. Backwoods, what's up, Backwoods? How you doing, man? Hey, look at me. I'm live again. What? Cal Chippy says, I remember a new driver at Prime didn't make more than 600 a week leasing. I guess that's his FM, not DM. Told him he who was drive slower, LOL, since left trucking and you back to his. No, if I was making that right there, I would definitely be talking to the fleet manager or trying to get me a new fleet manager or something. There's no reason that you're only making 600 a week. You got to look at sometimes people have to look at themselves. So you got to have the whole story behind there. Like I had one of my students call me up one time and he was all like, "Look, I'm not making no money." And I was like, "All right, tell me when's the last time you went on home time?" Because a lot of times people get into that negative because people don't think about it when you're leased and you take off, you still got to pay that truck payment and that adds up. I've seen people add that up like 2, 3 weeks. Now they're in the hole that much. So they got to dig themselves out. So he was like, I haven't been on home time. I said, well, tell me how this week went. And he goes, well, they sent me a load and it wasn't paying enough. I didn't feel like it was paying enough. So I rejected it because I know there's something better in this area. So then they didn't give me another load till the next day. Whenever I got that, it wasn't paying enough. So I rejected it. I was like, whoa, hold up. Truck ain't moving. You ain't making money. Like, what are you doing? At least take something to get out of the area to some better freight or something. But come to find out, it was a bunch of rejecting loads and stuff like that. I talked to him, got him on the right track. He was all like, I don't like this. And I was all like, dude, like, it's time to you and your fleet manager, y'all have to work together. Like, you guys show him that you're willing to do the loads and that you trust him. A lot of times the fleet manager might give you a not so good load to get you to a better paying load. You have to trust the system sometimes. And I know it's hard to do because all the lease guys have that ability to reject a load. And us company guys, we can reject a load too, but it's very rare and there has to be a good reason. But on the leasing side, oh, I don't want to go there, reject. That's costing you money. It's costing you money. It's making it hard on yourself and it's making like your fleet manager and your relationship kind of rocky. Before you ever reject a load, call the fleet manager up and say, "Hey, what's going on with this load? I would like to, it doesn't pay enough. You think they could put some extra on it? Or hey, or I'll do this load, but you got a good one to back it up." Like, try to get that relationship with your fleet manager of like, "Hey, I don't mind helping you out, but like I expect return on this. Don't just take all the bad loads and just never say nothing because look, this is your business, your job, your career. This is about you surviving life. And if you're not getting paid for what you're doing, then you need to start looking at what's going on, what's really going on, and have a good conversation with your fleet manager. And most of the time, your fleet manager, just that good communication right there, y'all can work something out and get on the same page, and you can get back to making money. Now, Midwest Regional, and always have all the time I'm getting to my 90. Well, that's nice. Like, I love pre-plans. So yeah, you're in the Midwest Regional. I'm a Midwest Regional driver too, even though I do mainly like local stuff. So I kind of like the Midwest. I'm not gonna lie. Now, hey, if I wasn't training, I would love to go to California again, get me some good food, and then see the U.S. again. Like I'm ready to go anywhere if I'm over the road, but they got me on this Midwest Regional, which I can't complain because I'm in the Midwest a lot. Oh, backwoods, you missed the lives, man. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you. Nick says, when I was at Prime, I could sleep all week and still make $600. Yeah, Nick, it's all about how you ran your truck, man. Like I've seen drivers that they would run for like 5, 6 days and then they would shut down too for like just want to get out of like just chill and get out the truck somewhere. Then they would run 6 days, 5, 6 days, and then they would shut it down for like 2 days. and they were successful. But during that week that they were running hard. I'm a vicious person. When I'm out there, I'm trying to get every cent I can. So like I'm running, 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 running as hard as I can, and I manage my clocks well. A key to One of the keys to success in trucking that I believe is being able to manage your clock for you. So I I loved never taking a reset over the road. I didn't want a day off unless I was at my house. So I made sure that I ran my clock and I was efficient at it to work on the 8 hours, 8 to 9 hours. That way I could save my time and I never had to take a reset. So for me, it worked the best. And not having to take a reset over the road, I wasn't stuck at some hole in the wall truck stop or middle of nowhere or a rest area or whatever the case may be. I wasn't stuck somewhere for 34 hours. Twisted, are you home nightly? Because since you're on the path, yes, I'm home every night. Well, I take that back. Whenever the students are here, I'm home every night. But if I need to go over the road, like I'll be sleeping in my truck. It says just got accepted into Prime training program. Start January 3rd. Can't wait to get started. Let's go, bro. It's a great company. I love it here. I really do. Like you picked a great one. I'm biased because I work here, but I feel that Prime's great, and I love what we do here. Lewis says, "Are gas cards for maintenance ever an issue?" It's not gas cards. We put in diesel, bro. Diesel. That's a lot of people's pet peeves. Say you put a gas in a semi truck. Somebody's gonna get angry, but yeah, it no, I haven't ever had an issue with it besides calm data going down sometimes. Sometimes calm data is gonna go down for maintenance. You usually have a Qualcomm message telling you, hey, at 8 p.m. Central Time. Calm data is going to be about down for till midnight or something, or maybe for an hour. So they're most of the time they're real good about communication on that. Hey, we're going to go down. So if you need to pay any lumpers, receivers, whatever, let's go ahead and get that taken care of. So we're not in the middle of that. We don't get stuck anywhere. So it's pretty good about that. As maintenance, pretty much if you wherever you break down in the United States, trust me, Prime's going to have somebody that will come to you, or there's going to be a shop in the area that you can go to that's in Prime's network, and it's not bad at all. Backwoods says, "I'm home, brother. Merry Christmas to you and the family. Holler at you later." Hey, later, bro. Enjoy your home time, man. Enjoy your home time. Andrew Craig says, "Hey, Twisted. I'm looking forward to starting orientation on January 3rd. Let's go, man. January 3rd. Hope you send me a text and everything. I can't remember. Hopefully you send me a text. We'll get together. Hopefully you're coming to Springfield too. Oh, let's talk about that new pre-trip. So yes, the new pre-trip is a lot shorter than the old one. I'll tell you right now, the new pre-trip is shorter than the old one. You would think that it would be easier to pass. Less items means less stuff you can miss. So you have to be more descriptive with your parts. You have to touch them. You have to point at them. Like you're gonna have to be more accurate with the stuff. Not only that, you have to get most of the verbiage, like almost all the verbiage down. Like and now, don't get me wrong, I can put somebody out there for about 2 hours and they can learn the entire pre-trip. But if you're not studying it consistently, you're gonna forget it. So the new pre-trip is something that's changed. I got the great video, like I put out some videos on it and they're great. But now I'm in a 2024 Cascadia, so I'm gonna have to redo them, unfortunately. So I'm gonna redo my pre-trip videos, and I've changed even more to the pre-trip, and I changed it in a way that's gonna make it easier for my students to do it. So I might put out a video on the pre-trip that Prime has, and just do it off of their paper, which is kind of confusing and parts. But hey, it's the order that they want it in, so I might put out a video like that for everybody that just wants the one that matches the pre-trip papers that you're given. And then for my students, I'm going to have mine, which mine makes more sense to me. I'm a very big on order. So like I want to work in a certain order. I like working from left to right and then top to bottom. I don't like going here, then back over here, then walk over there, then walk over here. I do not like walking all over the place. All I want to do is like start over here and just work this way. Once I get all that knocked out, then I'll start working my way down, across. It makes a lot more sense to me, and I like it a lot better like that. So the pre-chip has changed some, and it's to me, it's not that bad of a change if you're out there studying and practicing it. Now, people are really motivated, have their heart in it, they learn it quick. Some people are not motivated and they don't really put in the effort that's needed, and they're going to have a hard time and they're probably going to fail. So it is what it is. Now the backing, everyone's like, oh, the backing's easier. They got rid of the alley dog, blah, 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 blah. Now, whenever I had my guys out there, my two guys, so I've tested three guys on this new pad. The first two guys I taught without a point system. I was like, hey, there's a spot, put it in there. And it wasn't too bad. It was kind of easy. Um, Pull-ups had to be changed a little bit to make it where we could get more room because there's not a lot of room inside the new pad. So about getting more room in it when you pull up, you have to really utilize your room. So you're pulling up a little bit different just to get more room. Now that it's a lot easier if you're just backing it into the spot, in my opinion. It's way easier. Now if you're using the uh, do it like this, turn the wheel all the way back up to here, turn the wheel all the way. It is a lot harder because you sometimes it gets you put in a bind. It really does. And the pull-ups are even harder. Like the one guy I tested using the point system, failed. So failed his backing, and it's because there's not a lot of room in it. You have to be more exact. You have to really know what you're doing. You have to be able to move all three moving parts. There's not a lot of room in there. A lot of people said, man, they just think about, hey, they took out the alley dock, man. This is going to be super simple now. Not necessarily. If the pad was the same size that it used to be, if it was the same size, like width wise, oh, got it. No, it's not the same size, so it's a little bit harder, I will say. Delivering tires to Pittston Prime Terminal as a Class B driver. Got into a concrete truck for 8 months. I'm excited to get the new career path going. Heck yeah! I'm pretty sure I talked to you in email then, or a text message or something. I remember somebody telling me that, and they were telling me that they were looking into coming to Primes. I'm pretty sure it was you. But hey, like, get it, man. Prime's a great company, and you probably seen how good it was. You probably seen the trucks and all that stuff. I mean, good equipment, nice shops, like great. Andrew says, "Yep, I'll send you a text, and yes, I'll be in Springfield. Yeah, definitely send me a text. I'm pretty sure that week I'm gonna need a student. I'll have to check my calendar, but definitely send me a text and talk about it." Oda says, "Man, I love my 2024. Besides the new APU, TriPack 3 is absolutely trash, no problem, but nothing but problems." I don't have that APU, so I have the one that we were using 2023. The thing I don't like about okay, so the 2024 Cascadia, I will tell you what, I'm not a big fan of. I'm not a big fan of that sensor on the side. I don't know. I don't remember the name of it, but the sensor on the right side of the truck that tells you if anyone's next to you on your right side. That thing beeps a lot. That thing goes off all the time. If you're doing a lane change and you're going from like the two lanes over, So, like, say you're doing one lane change to the right, but there's another lane on the other side of it with cars in it. It's going to start beeping at you. It's loud. It's obnoxious. It's to me, it has a little light on the uh, sh- real close to where the mirror is, but inside the truck, there's a light, a triangle. If it's orange, someone's next to you. If it's red and flashing, somebody's right there, and you're trying to do a lane change. It's really really annoying, and I believe that it's going to teach people not to check their mirrors as good in the on the right side of the truck, on the passenger side, because they look over, see the light, and they're all like, oh nope, not doing a lane change. But what if that thing malfunctions, and they start getting developing a habit of just looking for that? And that's where I think that it's not necessarily a good thing. It's a nice tool to have, because it will make, whenever it's beeping, you're like double checking, triple checking, quadruple checking. But you should be watching your mirrors anyways in a lane change. So when you're bobtailing around, it's especially crazy, because if you make a right turn, like with the bobtail, it's going to think that you have a trailer behind you, and it's going to start beeping like crazy. I kind of like the speed warnings that it gives off. I'm not a big fan of this HSA, the hill assist. I mean, it's nice that it holds down the brake like that, but it's an extra step in the pre-trip that I really didn't want to have to deal with. So, no, it's just an extra step. And then sometimes out there on the pad when you're doing back and you got to press that button, because it's going to not let the steering wheel turn because somebody pressed the brakes down too hard, and it's trying to hold you in place. So there's a lot of new features. The disc brakes on the front, the rotors and disc brakes on the front. Those are, I feel like they're a lot nicer. It feels like it stops smoother. The truck runs smoother. The turbo's way louder than the one I had. So, I moved up in the world. So if you're out there on the pad, don't be looking for my green truck no more. I'm in a white one. Your pre-trip, your pre-trip videos help me pass my driving test. Keep up with the videos. Oh man, appreciate it. I hear a lot of people talking about the lights video that I put out. They're all like, "Man, the lights that helped me out so much. I really appreciate that." So, it's good. It's a good feeling to know that your videos help people out. So, thank you. The 2024, the right side of the tent section is trash. It caught a squirrel and went off on me while driving and scared the out of me. Yeah, it'll scare you. It will scare you. I'll admit to that. First time I did a right turn in it around some trucks as I was leaving out with that truck, it started that beeping stuff. I jumped. I was like, "What's going on with this truck?" I was like, "Man, that is weird." Larry, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Larry, Merry Christmas. Adaptive cruise control, also a headache with newer roads marked as 45 when it's 65, 70, and it slows you down instantly. I haven't had to deal with that yet. I have heard a lot of people complaining about that. I have not dealt with it yet. I have seen it tell us that, hey, you're going too fast. So it did warn us we were going too fast. Um, it's a blue sign for that. And then one time the speed limit was 55, and for some reason the truck thought it was 45 or maybe lower than that. I don't know what the truck thought, but it had a red one flash up there that said you're going way too fast. So kind of cool. Yes. I could see how that's an issue if the truck's over here like you're doing the wrong speed. Whoa. But as for everything else on that truck, I like it. To me, it's a lot smoother ride. It seems to turn better, handles better. I missed the play in the old steering wheel. The old steering wheel felt like it had more play in it. This new one feels like real tight. Like it doesn't feel like it has much play in it. I kind of like the steering wheel with a lot of play in it. So, I'm getting used to that. Oh, it's new. I gotta get used to it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it keeps going that speed, it will slow you down. Oh, Wow, it will slow you down? See, I didn't know it would slow you down. That's interesting. I'm gonna have to go try it out sometime. Find me some construction or something where, like, the speed drops for the construction. Well, no, I don't know if it'll pick up the construction sign. Lewis says, so if I get my permit out of state, how of my out of state, my training location, where does it work attaining the actual CDL? Okay, so what will happen? Sorry, I mean, like, I butchered that. So pretty much what you're saying is if you get your permit, we'll say in Texas, but you're testing out in Missouri, do you need a how's that work? You will take after your test, you will get a letter that says that you passed your test and it's going to have your test scores with it, and usually you keep your permit with it too. That test scores plus that letter will say that you're able to drive without a CDL license, CDL instructor in the passenger seat, so you are good until you get back to your home state and switch your permit to a CDL. You'll turn in your test scores in your home state, and they will switch it. They will switch permit out for a CDL, and then you're good. So it's not that hard of a process. There's a computer system that the federal government uses, and it does all the test scores and it tells them all the information of it. So most of the time when you go to the DMV, you don't even have to show your test scores most of the time. Hey, I passed my test, and you know, eh, like I passed my test. I'm here to get my CDL, and a lot of times they already got it in the system. So all you're doing is some paperwork, got it, paid the whatever it cost, and you're done. So it's not that big of an inconvenience. It's not too bad. I don't think it's too bad. I think it's a real easy process doing it like that. Now, before that happened, we used to come here to Missouri or wherever, whichever terminal you were going to. You used to go to that terminal and you would take the permit test there. And some people wouldn't even pass that. They would get sent home because they weren't passing it, or they would not take the test each day that you could. They would just push it off, push it off, push it off, and then think that they could go take it one time at the very last second, and they would pass it on their first try. And some people were not good at taking tests like that. So a lot of stuff like that happened. And then once you got your permit, take your test in Missouri. After your test, you had to go set in a freaking DMV. Everybody loves setting in the DMV, especially when you're not getting in there early in the morning and you're there later in the day because your test was later in the day. And now you're waiting even longer to get your permit changed to a CD. And not only that, but the first time you went on home time, you're supposed to change it from a permit from a Missouri CDL to a wherever you're from, we'll say Texas, to a Texas CDL. So it was kind of a pain. Kind of sucked, but I kind of like it better this way. I kind of wish that they had it this way whenever I came through. And it kind of gets you some home time, like some guaranteed home time. So when you come out here, you take a Greyhound out here, you got like 4 or 5 days, maybe 6 days, whatever orientation. You get you a trainer. You're with that trainer for 14 plus days, minimum of 14 days. You take your test, and then you might run out like a week or two on TNT, and then you'll get home. So it's like a kind of a guaranteed home time at the beginning. Whenever I came out here on like October, I wanna say October the 20th of 2016, and I didn't see my home time until pretty much Christmas. I think it was the week of Christmas. It was the first time I seen home time. And I wasn't complaining about it because like I was here to make some money. Like I was here to provide for my family. I wasn't here for home time. Like I needed to go get my stuff done so that way I can provide for my family. That was my main focus and my goal. I told my family when I left, I said, I don't know how long it's going to be till I come back. But I'm telling you what, I'm all in this and I'm working hard on it. So when I left, I was like, I have no idea when I'm coming back. It's kind of the attitude you have to have. You have to be like, you know what, I'm dedicated to this. I want to get it done. I want to get my CDL, and you got to put everything into it. Lou says, I'm in New York City. I think they would send me out to PA, but I think I would prefer to go to Missouri location. Hey, Pittston's a great terminal also. I like the Pittston terminal. It's a nice terminal. So do fine in Pittston. But you can come to Springfield, but they will not pay for your trip to Springfield. They pay you for a trip to Pittston because it's pay you extra for going to a different location. Unless for some reason they were super packed over there and they said, hey, look, we'll pay for it if you'll go to Missouri. But they like to try to keep you in the same area. I'm pretty sure to get a Missouri or a different state you reside in, you would have to have a mailing address, no PO box. To get a license in that state, I may be wrong. Yeah, you have to have a physical address. You have to have an address where you get mail, and you can have two proofs of residence. So all that normal stuff you would need to get your driver's license. You still need make sure that you have a address, like a family member's address, something that you can get mail and stuff to, and say, "Hey, this is where I stay." I have a mailing address in the state. Is- Yeah, yeah. You gotta have a. You can't just have a PO box. It has to be like a physical address that you prove that that's your residence. It's not hard to do either. You gonna bring back the lives with Tennessee Flatbetter? I have no clue. I don't know what he's up to. So I would like to. I would like to if he wants to come on. Like I would love him to come back on. Like it would be great, but I don't know what he's been up to. D is Russell still at the pat? Russ still a PS. Talking about Russell, yeah, Russell's still a PSD instructor. He's still out there. He's great. I seen him today. I didn't get to talk to him. He was kind of doing his thing out there, but I need to holler at him because it's been a while since I hollered at him. Like I've been super busy, guys. Like tire loads, trying to make ends meet and stuff like that. I've been doing a lot of tire runs and trying to get ready for the holidays and stuff like that. You know, like I said, I'm vicious. So even as a PSD instructor, I'm like, hey, you got to load, you got to load, you got to load. Like I'll do a load. I'm trying to do like 3 loads a week or something like that, 2 to 3. Um, no, it's about making that almighty dollar at the end of the day, and that's what we're all here for. We're all here to make more money and provide better for our family and have a better life and leave our kids something at the end of the day. So are you paid hourly? I am not paid hourly. I have a weird pay system. So when I'm doing loads, I get paid cent per mile. Other than that, I get paid bonuses. So get paid a lot in bonuses, a lot of different ways. It's kind of confusing. So I can tell you the least amount my check will be every week, like the minimum. I can never tell you like what it's actually going to be because I'm paid in bonuses. So I can be like, hey, I made this much in miles. And then I could be like, okay, I have this many students on the truck, so it's going to be about this much. And then all the time it's over what I thought. So most of the time, I don't even worry about it. Here lately, I've been forgetting to even check it. Like on Fridays, we get our check stubs on Fridays. Sometimes it's like Sunday or Monday before I'm like, oh, we got paid. I need to check my check stub. I haven't even been checking it here lately. Got a bunch of stuff on my mind. Like big changes are coming and like, you know, lots of stuff's going on. So I just haven't been able to keep up with it. I get it in my email, but I forget what day it is a lot of the times. They do they let you do Walmart drops and hooks or any loads like that besides tire loads while a PSD? Yeah, you can do drop and hooks at plenty of places. Like there's a lot of places Prime does drop and hooks at. We even done some Walmart dropping hooks, but most of our Walmart stuff is um live load, live unload. So, how long have you been in the industry for? I've been in the industry for 7 years. 7 years. Still a rookie. Still learning stuff every day. Andrew says, "Do you take your students on loads you run?" Yes, of course. Like my students do 100% of the driving. I don't drive my truck. My students will drive my truck because they need all the experience they can get. So they're driving, they're unhooking, they're backing, like they're doing the job. Like they're doing the job. Of course, I'm with them. They're following my instructions, stuff like that. As long as they're being safe, I let them do as much as I can. If they're not being safe, I will take over. I'll be like, "Hey, whoa, time out. Let me pump the brakes right here. You're not listening to me. You're not being safe. Let me go ahead and just take over and finish this." So, unfortunately, that happens sometimes, not too many times. Jake says, "I really want to go to Prime and I watch all your videos. And Chance, you could be my TNT trainer." Oh, no, 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 no. I don't do TNT training. PSD is what I do. So, like, if you need a if you don't have a CDL, I do that part. If you're coming to Missouri, I do that part. Like, I do the first part where you learn the basics of driving a truck and backing a truck and pre-trip. I have you until you get your CDL. Once you get your CDL, you go on TNT training. So I don't do TNT training, Jake. But there is a chance, like if you want me to be your PSD instructor, all you gotta do is hopefully you're coming to Springfield, Missouri, but go ahead and drop my driver code on your application, COXDJO as a referral, and make sure you shoot me a text and let me know where you're at in the process, when you're getting here, stuff like that. And we can work out a date. We can work out something where I can make sure that I'm available to have you on my truck when you get here. Especially if you give me far enough notice, then I'm even better. Well, like us, we're all human, so like make sure you keep on updating me. Hey, one more week. Hey, you know, maybe it's 2 more weeks, 3 more weeks, whatever. 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 1 week. Hey, I'm leaving out on Friday. I'll be there on Monday. Hey, Monday I made it here. Like keep me informed. Otis says I didn't know while PSD if you did actual reefer loads or strictly tire loads? It depends. If they have a reefer load that needs to be done, I'll go do it. Like my fleet manager hit me up. Not when was that? Been a little while, but my fleet manager hit me up. He said, "Hey, I got a load that's getting dropped off at this time. Like I don't know, 4 in the afternoon." He was all like, "Hey, I got this load being dropped off." He said, "It needs to be in St. Louis. So you need I need it there, man. Is there any way you can do that? It needs to be in St. Louis at like 11 o'clock at night." And I was all like, "Man, I got you." So I went and picked that thing up and picked it up, took it up there. They unloaded it, and then slept in the truck. By the time I got out of that place, I already got a 10-hour break and back to Springfield, and then boom, we worked on the pad, got our day on the pad out the way, sent the guys home, and I went home, and I was like, "Man, I'm exhausted." But it was like staying up like not being used to staying up that late. How long do you deal with bad weather conditions? How do you deal with bad weather conditions? You slow it down and be safe. What you do, like bad weather, ice, snow, stuff like that. You got to slow it down. Bring those trucks speeds down, stuff like that. Bring it down to a safe speed. And if you feel it's too dangerous, you just park it. You park it. Good communication with the fleet manager. Hey, roads are too dangerous. I'm parking it. You're the captain of the ship. And Prime's biggest model, and this is one of the coolest things about Prime, is they're like, "Hey, if you don't feel safe to drive, then don't drive. We do not. Your life is worth more than that load, and that load, if it's in a ditch, if you flip that thing over in a ditch or destroy that load, it ain't gonna make it there anyways. So guess what? We will reschedule the load. If they have to pay a fine at a customer for being late, whatever, they will pay it." because at the end of the day, they care more about us as a driver than they do getting it there on time. And I think that that's awesome. I see a lot of companies with the slogans of you know, no matter rain, ice, snow, tornado, whatever, earthquake, lava coming down the hill, whatever it may be, no matter what, we are going to get that load there on time. But if the lava's coming down the mountain, I'm not going over there. Sorry. I set myself on fire once and I'm not doing that again. So like it sucked. So I'm not gonna set my like if I feel dangerous, if I feel like it's danger, I'm not doing it. And Prime is great about that, and they back you on that too. I thought about being a TNT instructor, but I don't know how well it would be. Uh, being Midwest regional, they wouldn't let you be a TNT trainer being Midwest regional. They won't let you. They would need you over the road. And plus, think about it. If you were put yourself in the TNT students' shoes. If you're Midwest regional, are you really getting those long loads that's getting you a lot of miles quick and getting you to the next phase fast? Not really. You're stuck in a little box. That's all you can do. So I wouldn't want to be on that truck if I was a student. I tell my students all the time, if you ain't going coast to coast, you need to say something to somebody. You need to get off that truck because you don't want to waste your time just, you know, in a little box going back and forth. Like you want to get out there and run. You want to get those miles done. Andrew, Andrew says, are there any checklists or other materials for studying pre-trip? They do have a checklist that you can find on pretty much any website that you Google search. 2024 testing pre-trip or testing standards. There's a checklist on there somewhere. I highly advise not using it because it doesn't have all the words and stuff. It's like I tell my students, I'm all like, hey, that checklist, if the examiner offers you that checklist, don't even do it. Don't even take it. Just tell them I don't need it. Because we haven't ever practiced with it. And what the way we practice pre-trip is the way I want it done. I don't want you to show up on test day with a stick and be like, I'm gonna point at everything with a stick today. Did you practice doing it whenever practice all the other times doing it like that? And they're all like, no. I'm all like, why would you change it for test day? If you were already doing good the way you were doing it, then why would you change it? Light was bugging me. You don't want to change stuff right before your test. Like don't ever change stuff before you. But when you're coming out here, your biggest advice, your biggest advice I can give you is that you need to do whatever your trainer tells you to do. I don't suggest anyone trying to study pre-trip before they get here, because I've had people study the wrong pre-trip plenty of times. So I don't I don't think that you should be out there studying your pre-trip or studying a pre-trip before you get here. It's way better. But I do not study a pre-trip before you get here because you might be studying the wrong one, or your instructor might not like he might have a better way of doing it. So you want to do it the way that your instructor tells you to do. Make sure that you wait till you get an instructor to start studying pre. Like if you're coming out here and we know we got it set up and like you're gonna be my student, then hey, I don't mind you go ahead and watching my video. Like I will send you probably the link to it and say, hey, look, this is gonna be our pre-trip. This is what I want you to study. And I might even email you a copy of my pre-trip because I got it on file. So I might go ahead and be like, hey, look, I'm gonna email you this. If you could print this out, if you got a color printer and could print this out, it's a good start. You know, I see a lot of company I see a lot of truckers complaining about the time it takes to unload any suggestions. Be real polite with the shipping office or the receiving office. Be real polite with them. Be patient with them. Don't start annoying them. It doesn't make no sense to start start complaining and stuff like that. Like that light. But it doesn't make no sense to start complaining and causing a ruckus, because at the end of the day that they're just gonna go ahead and be like, you know what, make this guy wait longer because he's over here complaining all day. Jake says, I have to wait to come back to Prime till January 16th because I was involved in a fender bender and bender. What can I do so I can be prepared as I can? Oh, just relax. Just relax. You'll get this. Just relax. It's not, don't rush this process. Take your time. They're calling you back on January 16th. I would touch base with my recruiter around that time too. I'd be like, hey, you didn't forget about me? I know my application's still good for so many days. Just checking in, seeing how you're doing. I'm still eager to come. So just relax, man. Hang in there. Like, it's not over. It's not over. So just hang in there and be ready for it. I've texted you about being my instructor. I'll follow back up with you. Okay, good. Good. I was thinking I talked to you. Yeah. Hang in there, bro. Like, this is a great company. It's, man, when they take you in and bring you here and you get to see how nice this place is. Like tomorrow morning, Friday morning safety meeting. If that free breakfast, what? Steak and eggs and or whatever you want to order. Get you an omelet like this big, like a huge omelet. Like, tear that thing up. And it's so cool. Like, you see the owner of the company walking around playing basketball. You see a basketball court, movie theater. Like, what? This is part of my job. Like, this is like the office. Like, it's freaking neat. It's incredible. And then being around all the people are real friendly, and like Prime, everybody at Prime seems to be real friendly. They'll stop and talk to you. They'll help you out. They'll give you the shirt off of their back. Like, it's just been great. It's a great experience here, and it's worth the wait. Definitely worth the wait. Like, I love it here. I don't think I would go anywhere else. Who knows though? Like, stop paying me and I'll go somewhere else, Like, if I'm not making money, I'm leaving. I've been here 7 years, and each year I have made more money than I made the year before. Each year my life has improved while I've been at Prime. I've had ups and downs, I had bad weeks, I had good weeks. I had way more good weeks than I had bad weeks. So, yes, will I complain about a bad week? Oh yeah, I'm a complainer. Like, I'm gonna be like, oh, I just had a bad week. I'll be like, that's the lowest paying week I had. I made only $1,200 this week. That's all I brought home was 1,200. I'm pissed. Or the lowest I brought home was 800. And then y'all like, well, what about all those other weeks where my check was like 2 grand or like 1,800 bring home or whatever the case may be. You start thinking about, had all those good weeks though. And if you really want to think about it, if you add two of my checks up, it two checks, you take this bad one and the one before it or the next one coming, you add them together and it's already more than I made at my last career, last job. So, am I better off? Yeah. Is it always the best place to be? Like, is the checks always going to be amazing where I'm making great money and like I'm just living high on the hog? No, it's not always going to be great. There's going to be bad times, there's going to be good times. It's just like with anything you do. And a lot of times, if you're good with managing your clocks and your time and when to scan trips in and stuff like that, you can kind of balance it out. And you got to understand, in this business, sometimes you'll have that load on your truck that's going to make that check be that check good, but it doesn't fall into the week that you're on. It's gonna fall into the next week. That's just chalk that up to the game because that next check it's gonna be even better. Now you already got a load from last week on there, so you're already starting off with some money. Then you're gonna make the rest of that week, and you're gonna add that to there. So hey, you're good. It's just sometimes you gotta manage your money and expect, hey, you know, someday one of these loads are going to fall into the next week, and I'm going to have to be prepared for it. So if you're good at managing your money, and most of the time you have enough money in your savings and stuff like that, it's not going to affect you unless you're bad with your money. If you're bad with your money, that's another story. We're going to have some problems. Anybody that's bad at managing their money, they will have problems. Chris says, I'm on my second week here at Prime. I like it so far. Let's go, Chris. Thank you. It's a great company, like I said. Man, congratulations on being here and your second week. Let's go. Hopefully you're testing or you just tested and you got that bonus and you got your CDL. If not, hey, it's coming soon. Uh Louis, sounds like an amazing atmosphere. Oh yeah, it's freaking awesome, man. Like I love it here. Hey, I'm not big at waving at other truckers, really. So like, you know, it's kind of a good thing, but kind of annoying thing. Like people are always complaining on Facebook. I waved at another prime truck and they didn't wave back because they expect you to. So sometimes I'm passing by the gatehouse or whatever, and I'll be like, "Oh, there's a prime truck. Better wave," Or I don't want to be the guy. Hey, I saw that twisted D out there, and that dude didn't wave at me whenever he drove by. So it's kind of annoying, but it's kind of cool at the same time. Like everybody wants to make sure they wave at each other. You see another prime truck, you got to wave at them. Hey, buddy, what's up? It's like expected. Andrew says, I have to drop, but I appreciate you doing the live. Have a good one. Hey, man, thanks for stopping in, dude. Thanks for stopping in. Lewis says the best part of trucking is being on the roads, so you can save more. Yeah. Hey, you know if if I would have started when I was younger, I would have gave up my rent, everything, and I would have just hit the road. I'd have hit the road, not had to worry about any rent, electric bill, all that stuff. I would have just hit the road running, and I would have just lived in my truck, and I would have been like just stacking my money, and I would have probably ended up paying cash for my next house, or who knows, I might have started my own business here at Prime. The owner of the company, in the first safety meeting I ever went to, the owner of the company said, "Hey, here at Prime, you can make as much money as you want, or you can make as little as you want. If you want to be a company driver, guaranteed paycheck, great benefits, and do that. But if you want to start your own fleet, do that. Just pull my trailers. We good. Like we making each other money here." He said, "Wilson, how many trucks do you have?" It was Jim Palmer, and but there was some other companies there. He was like, "How many trucks you got?" The guy was all like, "I got 50 trucks." The next guy, "I have 200 trucks." Like those dudes were making money, and they started with one truck, and they just built it and built it and built it. And he's all like, "Hey, you keep pulling my freight. I don't care how many trucks you have. I know people with many fleets. I know people with multiple trucks. Like they are out there doing it and pulling Prime's freight and being successful. It's awesome. It's an awesome experience, and it's great to see that, hey, I'm at a company that I can make as much money as I want. Like it just depends how ambitious I am and how much I want to chase that dollar and how much I want to put into this. That's that's an awesome thing right there. Yeah, if you're single and have no kids, yeah. If I would have started this whenever I was like, man, if I could have started trucking straight out of high school, man, I'd have been like, hey, I'm living on a truck. Like I ain't coming off of this thing. Jake says, "Thank you for all your videos and answering my questions. I really appreciate it. Can't wait to go to Prime. It sounds like a great company. And how hard is it to get into the tanker division? You just tell them you want to go tanker division. I think most of the time tanker division's probably hiring. Um, oh, I haven't really seen anyone with a problem with it. I've had drivers come in as reefer drivers, and then they're all like, you know what, I want to go tanker all of a sudden. And they, after their test, they say, hey, I want to be a tanker driver. And they haven't had no problems. I've had them jump from reefer to flatbed. I had flatbedders on my truck, and I had tankers on my truck that decided after testing out, hey, I'm going to go reefer. And they switched right over. So I don't, normally that's not a big problem. Do prime trainers encourage new drivers to go lease right out of training? I don't. I know some do. Lease drivers usually try to talk their students to go into lease, and company drivers usually say, well, I don't care. It's kind of like you Dodge guys out there. You Dodge guys all like, it has to be a Cummins or it has to be a Ram. You ain't driving a truck if it ain't no Ram. They're kind of annoying guys. And then you got your guy like me that, hey, I don't care what kind of truck I got. I just want a truck. So I went out there and I looked at the Ford. I was like, I really don't like it. I went out there and looked at the Dodge and I was like, nah, I don't want this truck. And then I went out there and looked at a Chevy and I was like, I like this truck. Got the Chevy. Like, I don't care which truck. I'm not like, hey, Chevy's the only truck out there. No. Meet your Dodge guys, and they're all like, oh, you got a Chevy. It's not a Dodge, it's not a Ram. So what? You know, it's like the Peterbilt guys, man. You ain't a real trucker if you ain't driving no Pete. Who cares about that? Like, hey, man, I'm just doing me. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about what's in my cup. It's my cup. Dakota says tankers 30,000 TNT miles, reefers 3 weeks with weeks with a tanker driver. If you do inedible, mainly runs 6 to 5 Monday through Friday, mostly dropping hooks, occasionally pump loads. Also matters. Training is 2 days of tanker. D, yell at me for this. If you don't want me doing this, but if you want to see it, is tanker search trucking with Rex. Yeah, trucking with Rex. I see trucking with Rex all the time because he's always at the wash bays and he's always over there switching out his stuff and you know switching out his trailers or getting his trailers washed or whatever's going on over there. But I always see him over there, and he awesome dude. If y'all haven't met trucking with Rex, make sure y'all meet him. He's a great dude. He's really cool. He's humble. Like he's an awesome dude, and like it's good that I get to see him all the time because he's super cool. Maybe someday, whenever I'm back into the swing of things and I got all my personal stuff out of the way, and all my big changes that are about to happen out of the way, then, I will be able to, maybe sometime have him on the channel. Like maybe if he would want to, it would be awesome. Jake says, I worked at a trucking company in the wash bay. I cleaned the inside out, and it was food grade. The only reason I left was help me get my CDL and really wanted to be a trucker. Yeah, dude, I wouldn't want to clean those things. You gotta get inside them from all I hear, and it sucks. He's a very cool guy. Wants nothing but the best for everybody. Yeah, he's a cool guy. Awesome dude. I like him. His videos are outstanding. He's cool. Like he's a cool dude. He's real down to earth. Great guy. But yeah, make sure y'all check out Trucking for Rex. That dude's cool. It's a great channel. Has great videos. Like it's the everyday life of a tanker driver. And the great thing about him is he's kind of like I would be if I was solo out there, because if I mess up, I would put it out there. I would be like, hey, look, I messed up. I should have done this. But I learned a lesson from this. So my mistakes, somebody else can learn from. Like maybe I forgot to put load locks in and the stuff fell over. I'd have made the video like, oh, I should have put load locks in. The stuff fell over. Now I got a claim on it. I'm in trouble. I learned my lesson. Next time I'm putting in load locks, blah, 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 blah. You know? Be real. He's being real on his channel, and that is what I think is the best about him is that he's just being real. He is what he is. He's down to earth. He's a cool guy. He tries to give you all the information he can, and he's pretty good at his editing and stuff. Like he's real good at it. But hey, guys, I'm out of here. I just wanted to jump in here, do a live check in with everybody, let everybody know, hey, I'm still around. I'm still alive. I'm cool. You know, hopefully I'll be back next Thursday. We will. What is next Thursday? Yeah, I might be back next Thursday. I don't know yet. It just depends how I feel. There's a lot of stuff going on in my life. So, hey, like, comment, and subscribe. Remember, knowledge is power. The more research you do, the better you will make good decisions.